Hello there YouTubers, and welcome to another episode of Bob the Bob Plays. I am your host, Bob the Bob, and today we are going to be looking at BOZO'S Night Out for the Commodore 64. Now, this one's a bit of a weird one because I never actually had a Commodore 64 until fairly recently, and I only discovered this game about a year ago. But I was instantly hooked because despite it being a very kind of basic Commodore 64 game, the gameplay is actually very good and it's pretty addictive. I'll just get straight into the game and show you what it's all about. So here we have Bozo leaving Gibbo. Oh, that was a bit silly. Fell down straight away. Yep, end up in hospital and I lose 2 pints. It's not 2 pints of blood, it's 2 pints of beer. Now the way this game works is a little odd. You start off with 5 pints of beer, and each level, I guess, starts with the end of a night of a pub crawl. Or, I don't know, it might just be Bozo down his local. Now, the aim of the game is you have to get home without falling into any manholes and without bumping into anyone on the street. Now we've got skinheads here, policemen. I don't know what the women are, if they're just regular women or if they're prostitutes. It doesn't say, so you just have to make your own mind up. Now this is Bozo's house, so we enter here. And we're safely home. Now, you gain 5 pints, basically means that the next night you drink 5 more pints on top of the ones you did previously. Now, what this means is the controls get increasingly harder to control, and you'll it's hard to explain what it's like, but it's if you're moving the controller in one direction, sometimes it will alter direction without warning, or it just starts slipping to one side. Here we go, I'll get another night home. Safely home once again. Now we're up to 13 pints. Now, to win the game you have to get, I think it's 65 pints. Technically it should be 60, but you have to get another 5 pints on the night where you get this, where you drink the 60th pint. Now, these doors that keep opening and closing, you can go into these, and it's actually the park. Now inside the park, as I will demonstrate, is all kinds of hallucinogenic beasties that wander around. So I just got to keep on walking. Now, the problem with the park is I think you get kind of lost once you step back outside onto the main street. So I'll just wait here for the door to open. Here we go. Back out on the street. And if I start wandering back to the right again, I end up back at the pub. So yeah, it's pretty much like what nights out are actually like if you drink this many pints. Me personally, I can only drink about 5 or 6 before I start to feel a bit wobbly, but this guy supposedly can handle his liquor. So now another thing is, the more you drink, the more the other people, the more aggressive they become. And you'll probably start to notice this soon. So we're on 18 pints now. Okay, so yeah, they're not chasing me yet. I can actually head back home in any direction, so that's a good move. keep going on here. Now, the more you have to drink, the more things will start to get weird as well. Like, I think I've reached about 40 pints before, and then you start seeing really odd things like elephants as you're walking home. Now, I don't know what Gibbo's been putting in his beers, but it's obviously it's not just beer. Now you can see Bozo starting to get a bit shaky here, so we'll just continue on. Well, the graphics for the time, I think it was just pretty standard. I mean, not many programmers really knew how to utilise the Commodore 64 by this point, I think. So the graphics were still pretty basic. But the way this game handles, and the gameplay in general actually, is very good. And I'll actually say this is probably my favourite Commodore 64 game. We got up to 28 now. I kind of want to show what happens when you... I already showed you what happens if you fall down the manhole, but show you what happens when mistakes occur. But I'm quite enjoying just trying to handle Bozo at the moment, because he's getting extremely hard now. Okay, here we go. $33 points. Now this is where I start to get very slippy now. And he's going to start wobbling all over the shop. Probably find that as I wander closer to the baddies now, they'll start to give chase. Yeah, that copper is now after me. And I think the skinhead probably is as well, but I'm probably not going to catch up at this point. Here we are back home again. Another 5 pints. Jesus, this guy can really hold his beer. Yep, there we go, there's the elephants. Now, I don't actually think the elephants do anything other than... Oh, do you see that policeman there? Yeah, we're starting to get some very oddly coloured policemen turning up now. And now the skinhead's really chasing me, and I think the policeman is too. He's fallen down the manhole. Does anyone think the trees in the background look like the tree from Maniac Mansion at the intro? Oh, there we go, I've fallen down a manhole. There we go. Yep, get well soon again, and you lose 2 pints. Now, depending on how you get caught out, depends on how many pints you lose. I think the worst amount you can lose is 5 pints, and that's if you get caught by a copper. I'll show you that now. There we go, drags me off to jail. You're busted. Spend some time in jail overnight to sober up. Yeah, lose 5 pints. Next night out, doesn't deter Bozo at all. He just carries on doing what he does best. Old ladies, they knock you on the ground and hit you with their stick. Apparently you lose half your body as well. I don't know what that's all about. Graphic limitations there. And it just keeps going on like this until you either reach 65 pints or you lose all your pints. You'd have to be pretty hard pressed to lose all your pints, I think. You would have likely given up by then, or you would have died trying. But yeah, so I'll leave it there. And yeah, I completely, wholly recommend this game. I actually bought this game on disc recently. and I'll show you a video of that after this. So keep watching after this video. Okay, well, thank you guys again for watching, and please remember to rate and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks again. Ta-ta. Hello again, everyone. Apologies for the really poor camera quality. I'm actually recording this on my mobile phone because I don't have a decent camera. But yeah, this is BOZO'S Night Out for the C64. I bought this hard copy off of eBay. Actually, inside, the owners kindly included, or the previous owner I should say, the original receipt, which was from Woolworths. Anyone remember that? It's completely bust now, but yeah, I don't know which one of the prices it was in here. Sorry about the really crappy autofocus, but it's probably the amount that's £10.10 or something like that. But I can tell you I paid about triple that price. But it was worth it. I mean, I think this is a pretty rare find. So here is the disc, 5 1/4 inch floppy. Very standard label, as you can see. But if you open it up inside, sorry, I'm having to do this all one-handed. Yeah, that's it. And on the right here we have the publisher task set, and the adverts for all their other games, which Gyropod, I can't even see that, Super Pipeline, Cosmic Convoy, Jammin', oh yeah, and cassette $6.90 each or disc $9.90 each. Again, I can tell you I paid triple the price of that. So let's just put that back in here. Okay, oh, I better put the receipt back as well. There we go. Yeah, so on the other side, BOZO'S Night Out instructions. We all know that. Setting up, blah blah blah. Now the interesting bit, the game. The object of this game is to get Bozo safely home, having drunk as many pints of wobble juice as possible. He may walk either left or right along the street to get to his house, or he may go through Weirdo Park, either as a shortcut or to avoid hazards of the street. But be warned, the park contains an unbelievable variety of hideous nasties of nightmare intensity. But he may escape them by playing hide and seek around the vegetation. He starts with 5 pints, and successfully home he may end the game and record his score in Bozo's famous league of, is that inebriate, or try again with 5 more pints. Failure to get home will result in the loss of pints, and losing all pints will end the game. The game features state-of-the-art interrupt-driven graphics, split-screen scrolling with 3D backgrounds and sprites, as well as professional arrangements of well-known drinking tunes. Hints: avoid bumping into anything inanimate, as this will temporarily increase Bozo's wobble. Devised and programmed by Gibbo, illustrated by Mark Harrison. So there you go. I think the wobble juice was a really weak attempt at trying to make this game seem less aimed at adults, but yeah, that's blatantly never going to work, was it? But to be honest, it didn't have a... I mean, this was before games had a rating, so I can imagine anyone could pick up this game off the shelf and no one would stop them. But yeah, so there you go. That's BOZO'S Night Out for the C64. Hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe and give the video the thumbs up. Thank you. Bye now.